Is it okay to charge more for drinks for World Cup games? Let's talk about it. News has come out over the past few days that the Stonegate Pub Company here in the UK has been charging between an extra 10p and 50p per drink during England games at the World Cup. Now, I don't have a problem with whatever people want to charge for their drinks. However, it seems like some of the things that have been going on have not been particularly upfront. Now here's the thing, I personally think you can charge whatever you would like to for drinks whenever you like. However, there are certain ways that you can do it that will not piss your customers off royally. Now, this is not going to be a video that is aimed at the Stonegate Pub Company in any way, shape or form. I've worked for them in the past and I actually quite like the vast majority of the way that they work. There's very few things that they do that annoy me. And this is not something that comes down to just those guys. Pubs all over the place will have event pricing, which is what they're calling it, when they charge more for drinks at premium events like the World Cup. The Stonegate Pub Company has defended its decision to charge customers up to 50p extra per drink during England's matches. The company, which operates 692 pubs, puts prices back to normal as soon as the game ends. Price increases of 20p were discovered at Yates in Manchester, 25p at a Walkabout in Colchester, and 50p at the Clock House in Harlow, Essex, reports The Sun. The increase in prices during the matches is not advertised. Now this is something that I think we will come back to shortly. Different outlets have reported that it is and isn't advertised. So I have reached out to the Stonegate Pub Company to ask them what they're doing with it. A Stonegate spokesperson says it is common practice across pubs, bars and entertainment venues to implement event pricing when big events take place to ensure customers have an experience which they can be served quickly, remain safe and enjoy the occasion. Any increases in cost cover the requirements for additional staff, security, cleaning and those associated with satisfying and complying with a number of licensing requirements, including the use of polycarbonate glasses. Therefore, proportionate cost increases ranging from 10p to 50p apply on certain drinks at certain venues. Let's break this down a little bit. So, number one is charging extra for drinks. Okay. I genuinely believe that if people are willing to come to your venue and pay for the drinks, you can charge whatever you want for them. However, doing it in a shady way when you're not advertising it, I don't think is okay. It is not clear whether the Stonegate Pub Company has advertised these charges or made it clear that people will be paying more during the games. I say very clearly, it is not clear what they have said. There are conflicting reports in the media about whether it has been mentioned in a clear way. Assuming the pub company has communicated to its guests in a clear way or displayed these prices quite clearly at the venues, assuming that's happened, I have no problems with them charging more at all. People do not have a specific right to a specific pricing at a venue. However, if you go to a bar and you believe you will be charged a certain price and you get charged more than that price, I believe you should have the right to say, I'm not paying that much, and walk away. That seems completely fair to me. Also in the UK, there are laws around bar tariffs being displayed in bars. Now, if, as some of these reports say, the price increase has not been communicated and the bar tariff is still on the wall, consumers should have the right to pay the price that is advertised on that bar tariff. Having said that, I don't think there is any problem with having a specific price point, whatever you want that price point to be. I don't care if people want to charge £15 for a vodka and coke. If they want to charge that, and that is a price that people are willing to pay as consumers, then I am absolutely comfortable with a bar choosing to charge that amount of money. What I'm uncomfortable with is the assumption that you can change your pricing at a moment's notice and not tell anyone. So the reasons that this particular pub company have given for the additional charges are security, additional staff that they'll need to bring in, and potentially different glassware. Now, security and additional staff, you have to bring those in because your venue is going to be busier. That means you're going to take more money anyway. So I don't believe you should be able to raise your prices per drink in order to cover the additional staff that you're bringing in, if it's because you need to serve more drinks. The fact that you've got a percentage of each drink that is your kind of profit margin should be able to cover that. It should also cover the additional security that you bring in, and it should cover additional costs that you have associated with the fact that you may need to do different things in terms of licensing, like polycarbonate glassware instead of glassware. That makes sense. I think one of the other problems that you might run into if you're going to change your pricing during an England game and then change it back immediately afterwards, if you've got regulars that come in all the time, they know what a drink costs in your venue, and to immediately charge them a different price just because football is going on, they might not have even come in to watch the football. If they're there and they would be there regularly, is it really fair to charge the people that would have been there anyway and the people that are you kind of bread and butter more for that drink that they would have been there to drink regardless of the football? Another potential issue is if you are not advertising that your prices are increasing for certain drinks during a football game. If you've got some unscrupulous staff, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but if you've got staff that are there more for themselves than for the business and to make money for the company, if they know that the majority of your pints are going up by 50p, but there's a certain line that isn't, what's to stop them charging that extra 50p and pocketing it? I'm not saying that this is a situation that is going to occur, but you are putting yourself at risk as a company because there's very little comeback if you're not advertising the changes to your drinks pricing. Here's what I think should be done. The difficulty is when a bar says we have peak and off-peak pricing, or we have these prices on this day, we have these prices on this day, we have these prices on this day, and it's depending on whether you're busy, you're quiet, you've got a lot of people in, you've got certain promotions. Promotions work. So here's my proposal. This is how you can solve this whole problem. You set your standard pricing at the highest price that you will ever charge. That is your prices. This is the price that you put on your bar tariff. This is the price that you advertise for your drinks as a base standard. Then, if you want to charge less in a certain week, or on certain nights, or on certain events to bring more people in, you can actually operate a price promotion, and you can reduce those prices. You get to save 10%, you get to save 20%, you get to save 60% on these nights. That way, you're actually offering better value than anything else, because you're saying, this is what we normally charge, which is essentially what you only potentially charge on a Saturday night or a Friday night at your peak times. And you can even say, on a Saturday night until 8 p.m, you can save 30% on these drinks. That way, you've got all the flexibility in the world that you need, and you don't upset people when they come in for a big event and want to drink your normal drinks pricing. All you do is you set it to your standard pricing on those days, rather than saying it's an event pricing which is increased from what we normally charge. All you're doing is setting that increased price as your standard price and then reducing down from there. If you discount from your regular price, everyone will be happy. So Stonegate Pub Company and anyone else that is out there and looking to charge more for your World Cup games, I know it's a little bit late for you now, but I didn't think anyone really needed educating on this kind of thing. I haven't heard back from the Stonegate Pub Company. I have reached out for a comment, and I will put any comment that they send into the comments, as well as probably producing an extra video to let you know what they said. So what do you think? Is it fair to charge more at these big events, or should people just have a standard pricing structure and discount down from that? Let me know in the comments below.